Mendez versus Westminster, 1946. This court case involved a group of Mexican American students challenging segregation laws in California. The plaintiff argued that they were discriminated based on their ethnicity. The United States District Court in Los Angeles ruled in favor of the Mendez family based on the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka, 1954, is a school segregation case that brought up on behalf of thousands of African American students attending segregated schools in Topeka School District. This Supreme Court ruling declared the separate by equal doctrine established in Plessy v. Ferguson was unconstitutional. Hernandez v. Texas, 1954. An all-white jury in Jackson County, Texas, found P. Hernandez guilty of murder. During the jury selection as well as the trial, his legal team unsuccessfully challenged the composition of the jury. They suggest that an all-white jury clearly discriminated against the defendant. They alleged that people of Mexican ancestry represent a special classification different from whites. The defendant appealed the case to the United States Supreme Court, which ruled unanimously in favor of Hernandez. This landmark case extended the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to Mexican American and other minority groups. Dianna versus California State Board of Education, 1970. Based on IQ testing scores derived from an English test, a group of 9 Spanish-speaking Mexican-American children from Monterey County, California, in this case were placed in a special education classroom. The court ruled in favor of the plaintiff, saying that Spanish-speaking students should be tested in their native language to avoid errors in placement. In Cisneros versus Corpus Christi ISD, 1971, the identification of Mexican American as a group different from whites was challenged in this segregation case. The court found in favor of the plaintiff and ordered integration of the 3 groups: white, black, and Mexican American. Case versus School District Number 1, Denver, Colorado, 1973. Black and Hispanic parents took legal action against this school district, alleging that it placed students in racially segregated schools that were inferior to white schools. The plaintiff argued that this segregation, intended or not, violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. The Supreme Court ruled that the district unintentionally created and promoted a climate of racial segregation. Since most segregation cases involve southern states, this case was significant because it addressed a non-southern state of the country. Serna versus Portales Municipal Schools, 1972 and 1974. This was among the first successful court cases seeking support for bilingual education. In 1972, a federal court mandated that the school district in Portales, New Mexico, start a bilingual bicultural curriculum, revise assessment procedures to monitor Hispanic students' academic achievement, and recruit bilingual personnel. Lau versus Nichols, 1974. In this landmark case, Kidney Law representing 1,790 Chinese students, started a class action suit against the San Francisco Unified School District, seeking support for Chinese students who were failing school because they could not understand English. The court found in favor of the plaintiff, but did not specify a remedy to left it to the district to decide how to comply with the mandate to provide the meaningful education to students of limited English proficiency. In the consent decree that followed, the San Francisco Unified School District agreed to provide bilingual bicultural education. EPRA versus New York City Board of Education, 1974. EPRA, a community-based organization, sued the New York City Board of Education seeking relief for a large number of English learners in the city. The court mandated a citywide assessment to identify the students who need special language services, as well as the implementation of a district-wide bilingual education program to address the identified needs of English learners. Rios versus Reed, 1978. This case addressed program quality. A federal court ruled that the Patchogue Medford School District in New York had violated the rights of English learners by providing a half-hearted bilingual program that relied mostly on ESL and did not include a bicultural component. The court not only upheld the importance of teaching English to students, but also recognized the need to provide meaningful education while accomplishing the language goal. The Rio versus Reed decision provided the foundation for many bilingual education programs developed in the 1980s and beyond. Castaneda versus Picard, 1981. The quality of bilingual programs was addressed again when the school district of Raymondville, Texas, was charged with violating the Equal Education Opportunities Act of 1974. In its decision, the Fifth Court of Appeals mandated 3 steps to develop quality bilingual education programs. The court ruled that program implementation must be based on sound research with adequate resources and opportunities for students to have access to the full curriculum. These guidelines were used as the model to enforce the law remedies. United States versus the State of Texas, 1981. United States District Judge William Wayne Justice ordered Texas to offer a bilingual education program for Mexican American students in kindergarten through grade 12. The case led the Texas governor to appoint a bilingual education task force to draft a plan for bilingual education. The work of the task force was instrumental in the drafting of Senate Bill 477, the current bilingual education law in Texas. Plyler versus Doe, 1982. This federal case challenged a law that permitted Texas to withhold state funds for districts educating children of undocumented parents. The ruling prohibited public schools from denying children of undocumented workers admission to school. It also prohibited schools from asking about the legal status of the parents and from requiring a social security number to enroll. In a decision based on the Plyler versus Doe, the reporting requirement of Proposition 187 was declared unconstitutional.